Welcome to the fourth episode of the Mind Dumb Podcast. This week, we actually have a new member. We have Emily Howarth.
Hello.
And I am Adam Talent, and we are also joined by Joanne Green and Peyton Marquardt.
Heyo.
Hi.
It's Marquit. Just FYI,
Marquit.
It is Marquit.
Spelled like
It lies.
Yes, it lies.
Yes, it does. It lies.
All right, Emily, if you'd like to do a little intro on yourself and let us know kind of maybe what you're working, where you're working, or if you're going to school or anything.
Yeah, of course. I am currently doing my first year maths degree over here in wonderful England.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Boo.
I'm in my first semester of my degree here. So not doing a lot of work because, who does work?
That sounds kind of redundant.
Yeah.
And I'm back. So my story last week, I usually, except for tonight because I'm home and I was doing some other things, usually I start the call half an hour before we start recording. And about 40 minutes before the recording started, the tornado sirens in my campus went off. So then the alarms in our dorms went off, and they're like, you need to get to your shelter areas. So then I sat down there for the next, hour and a half. And so I looked at Skype on my phone, and I was getting messages from Adam, and they're like, are you going to be here? And I was like, yeah, no. And so then this week has just been a process of fixing everything. I had to place several work orders because the windows in the window in my room broke from the storm and everything. It was dumb, but I'm back. I'm safe. No one died, I don't think.
I was gonna say, did anyone get hurt?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's why English storms are great. A few trees fall down, that's about it.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's down, it's a bad storm.
Yeah, in America, we have tornadoes and hurricanes.
Hurricanes and blizzards and all that bullshit.
Yeah, we have the worst weather. I mean, Australia does have the worst wildlife and stuff, but America did probably top having the worst weather.
Yeah, I remember one time when I was younger, there was an ice storm that put it, it was just sleeting, and the sleet, became so heavy that it collapsed several buildings in my town, and, took down power lines, and, destroyed people's cars, because it would, destroy their, suspension, because the ice was weighing the car down too much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, our weather is stupid. And I live in Ohio, which is the worst state you can possibly live in. Ever. The weather here is horrifying.
Yeah, we've had some pretty bad weather here in the southeast as well. A couple years ago with Hurricane Katrina, and then a couple years ago in Nashville, where I was living at the time, we had a really, really, really big rainstorm. I can't quite remember if it was a hurricane or not, but it's just ridiculously devastating on, in Nashville, the arena. I remember, the football stadium, it looked like a giant pool because the whole underground area there was filled up with water, and then it was still filled up to the field, to the football field. So there were a couple of pictures from the stands, and it was just ridiculous how devastating it was in Nashville.
Sounds pretty bad. Oh, hey, I just got your message on Rooster Teeth.
Ah, okay.
So, has anyone played on one of the new consoles yet?
No, and I'm really sad about it.
I don't know anyone that has them. If I knew anyone that had got one of them, I'd be like, let me play. But I just don't know anyone that's bought one.
That is true, actually. I don't know anyone that's got one.
I have not. I think I might have one person on my friends list who I saw on the Xbox One. Like on the friends list, it shows what they're doing, and I think I just saw one of them so far.
I do not own either of them because I'm broke and I'm in college. That's how it works. But I've had the chance to play on.
What one would you go for?
I've had the chance to play on both. Like I've had some time playing on both consoles, like 3 or 4 hours on each.
What
And I would still go. I would still go for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 4's menus are worse than they were on the PlayStation 3 because they're just as confusing, just with pictures. But apparently their OS can't handle pictures, so it's slow as all get out. And that wasn't even on like launch day. Like I played that yesterday, which was Saturday, and it was like none of the menus were loading. The dashboard was so slow, and it was just horrible. Meanwhile, the Xbox One's dashboard on day one, which is when I played it, because my roommate got it, it was wonderful. Worked fine. I got to sync my gamer tag to an Xbox One. I got to like sync it to the Xbox One servers. So now, like, when I walk in the room, it recognizes that I'm there, and it signs me in on his console automatically. So if I want to play, I just pick up the other controller, and we can play together. It is so fast, and it works so well.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they're both very good machines. Gaming-wise, the only reason I would continue to go with the Xbox One is because I like the controller better, because I've never been a fan of the DualShock. But the gaming, like, the physical game-wise, if I could use the same controller on both, they're equal. Like, there's no difference.
Yeah, it's just what you're used to, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am planning on getting an Xbox One whenever the next Halo comes out, whatever it's going to be called.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm one of the hugest Halo nerds. So.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, so
I'm a big Halo fan.
If they come out with a Halo edition of the Xbox One, I'm gonna get that, and then the next Halo, whatever it's gonna be called, whether it be 5 or whatever.
Whatever it's supposed to name it.
What was that, Emily?
Yes, that was me. I spoke then.
No, what do you say?
Oh, I said whatever they decide to call it, like whether it's Halo 5 or.
Yeah, right now on all the websites I've seen, it just says Halo-Xbox One.
Alright, yeah. When would it be?
I've seen it being named Halo 2014 a few times as well, which would just be dumb.
Yeah, that's just because that's the assumed release date. And big news, Bethesda's had a teaser site up that is got on a countdown currently, and as it's going on, it's like saying new things on it. And apparently, one of the things that it added the other day was nuclear winter is coming, and the same day they trademarked Fallout 4.
Oh.
Which I do not care about, because I was never a big fan of Fallout, but it's a big deal. As you can hear Adam salivating over the name.
Yeah, for the Fallout series, I've only played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Both are very excellent games. I mainly got into Fallout 3 because of the mod base on PC. It was one of the first games that I heavily got invested into some of the user-created mods, and it becomes a whole new game after you beat it, and then be able to go back through with like a sniper rifle that can shoot a nuke at somebody.
That seems almost kind of silly.
It is. It's very silly.
But yeah, I don't know, like, I tried to play 3, and I don't like the fact that the only way I feel like I can kill things is with bats. And I just don't like the whole, like, I don't like that gameplay element. And so I never could really get into it, although I have played Fallout Tactics before for the PC. And that's a lovely game, although it is hard as fuck.
But it's not the same genre.
No, it's not. It's like a mix between a turn-based real-time strategy game. But yeah, Man.
Yeah. But I was just looking up some stuff on the Xbox One, and it says that it sold 1 million units within the first 24 hours.
Yeah, both did. Both got around 1.4 within the first day.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch, like, the launch, like, event thing for the US?
No, I did not watch that or the PS4 launch.
One of the guys that I have come into contact with before doing internet things, his gamer tag is Stallion83, spelled some stupid way. He's got the world record for the highest gamer score. And they had him on, and he, like, runs his own podcast that's, like, the Gamer Score podcast or something like that. And so they had him on, and they were talking to him, and they gave him one of the developer Xbox Ones with all the games, which makes me extremely jealous, because I think the white ones look so much better than the black ones. Like,
No.
it's just, I like the white one so much better.
Well,
the black
I mean,
look better.
well, I mean that's
like-
decent because he's probably dumped in probably
Yeah.
over 10 or
Scott
12 grand into the
Said
Xbox
within the
lifetime.
next 2 weeks he should, like, within the games that he got with the Xbox One, he should be able to push it to over 1 million.
That's ridiculous.
Like, it's like, it's crazy. And, like, he's poured so much time into that's acceptable. But then they're like, here's your Christmas present for the year. And normally, like, if you've been a member for so long, Xbox will be like, here's a Christmas present, you get a free month of Xbox Live. And they gave him a gold-plated lifetime Xbox Live card that had, like, his name on it and everything, and it was really cool looking.
Damn.
And then Major Nelson was on it a lot. Major Nelson's my home slice. I don't actually know him, he's just funny. But yeah, and it was really interesting. They had someone that I know that works for Microsoft was there, and he said it was absolute, like, craziness. So it's just interesting. It's really weird to think, like, when the Xbox One was released, the console that I had turned 8. It's like, because I bought my console, my 360, at release day, like at midnight. And I've never turned it in, and I've never, like, replaced it. It's the original launch Xbox.
Holy
It's just
crap.
It's old white. It's like dingy. It's not even white anymore. It's like this off-white yellowish color. It's really nasty looking.
To have one that's not broken, that's quite impressive. But it's lasted that long.
Like it red ringed once, and then it just like turned back on. And I was like, okay, red ring, and I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and it worked again. And it just hasn't done it again.
Wow.
And like the fan in it is so loud, and it's just like it's ridiculous. And it's just like because it was released eight years later from that day, so it's just like that's an 8-year-old box. And now it's outdated, and now I need a new box.
That is...
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. I mean, I don't think I've ever... I don't have the ability... Or I've never had the ability to get a console on launch, and I've always wanted to.
They're always so expensive. I remember when I bought... It was so expensive, and I was like... Because I had an Xbox. Like, I had a original Xbox. And I was just like... Because all my friends would play Halo 2 all the time, and we're just like... I need this. So we all saved up. Like, I saved up. Each one of us saved up to get our own, and so we all went together. And I was 10, I think. And, like, one of their parents went with us, and we were all at the GameStop at midnight. We were all freaking out. Like, it was great. And now it's just to think, like, now I'm in college, and now the new one's out, and it's like, damn it.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous how gaming has affected our generation, and
yeah,
and how it's really gotten us to know. It's kind of brought the world together. It's kind of weird to think, but I mean, us talking to two people over in England. I mean, 8 years ago, this would have never happened. But because of the Xbox, because of the gaming communities, such as Rooster Teeth, where all 5 of our podcast members have met, it's caused a lot of people who never would have met without it to meet and become good friends and to become family.
Well, I know I've got personal ties to Rooster Teeth. I have personal ties to EA. I have personal ties to Microsoft now. Like, I know people that work in all these places, and I know people who have gone and competed in MLG tournaments. One of my friends actually is in Columbus right now playing Call of Duty for Unite, and like, it's all really interesting. Like, I know all these people that are doing things like around the world for different companies and stuff like that.
We've grown up with it though. We are the gaming generation, and
yeah, it's true. It's like, 'cause you gotta think the generation above us, like.
I mean, the generations are now growing with us, but we've like. You guys,
yeah,
when the PS2 came out, that was such a hype when that came out. Now.
yeah, now we're in PS4,
exactly.
and it's like it makes the PS2 like look like a whopping heap of junk, like. And it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Speaking of MLG Columbus, which is the big tournament that's going on, I've been watching Dota 2 esports for the past 2 days like crazy, and that's all I've been doing. It's like, I love Dota, I love esports. My friend, he goes by Feta, and he's a German Dota player. And he plays on Sigma International now, which is a French team. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. He played in the Dota International last year too. His team did horribly, but he was there, so still cool. And it's just like, it's so weird to think like how many people I've met because of just gaming in general.
That's pretty insane. Hey Joe, have you met anyone really interesting while you've been gaming or from RT?
No, I haven't. Like, and it upsets me that I haven't, because I would really like to talk to some people like that you see online that are like really good at games and make a living out of it, but it's just not that easy to.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten to where gamers have gotten to the status of athletes and athletes and movie stars and music producers and all this kind of stuff. I mean, they're not. Each sport has their own following, but I mean, gaming is getting up there, but it's not there yet. And I'm really excited over the next 10 or 12 years, over the next lifespan of the next consoles, to see where gaming is going to get to in the world.
Mm-hmm. Just because it's one of those things that everyone can be good at. It's not like, football, like, some people physically can't be good at that. And so, like, but, like, video gaming is, like, it's just practice. As long as you have hands, you can be good at it.
And even if you're not good at it, you can still play and still enjoy it, so it doesn't...
Yeah, it's like...
You're part of the community.
Like, I am so bad at, like, Forza. Like, I play Forza, like, the campaign, like, totally fine. But, like, if I play Forza online, I'm finishing last, like, every single race, but it's still so much fun.
Yeah, I remember I played one of the Naruto games, one of the Naruto fighting games. Good
and
God.
You just got your ass kicked.
Yeah, I got my ass kicked by Koreans. Like, there are Koreans nonstop on.
Oh no, the Koreans! The Koreans will ruin you.
Yeah.
It's like,
but in my group of friends, I was always like close to the top, and we always like adapted to each other's strategies and all this kind of stuff. It was ridiculous. But then we jumped online, and the guy took us down in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it's just like
that you can play locally and be good at, like local. You go online, you're like, how am I this bad at this game?
Oh man. Talking about other kind of international nerd news. Over this weekend,
Peyton's gonna kill you for this.
I know. The Doctor Who 50th anniversary special came on. I know. But we listened to you about Dota, which none of us really follow or play or anything. So just for the next couple minutes,
put up with it. I'll surrender.
Yeah, just for the next couple minutes, you'll have to surrender to the Doctor. it was a global simulcast, which I don't think has ever happened in TV history to this day. But it aired at 3 o'clock on Saturday, November 23rd, and it was completely commercial free because there's not really any global commercials that they could run, and it got up to 10.61 million viewers in over 94 countries. It's just a ridiculous amount of people watching this 77-minute or 75-minute episode.
Was it good?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Do you not follow Doctor Who at all?
I've watched a few.
Oh my god.
I don't really watch it as a whole.
The whole references to the past series and just the way it all fit together, it was so good.
Yeah. I mean, before this episode, I would say that Blink and the 11th Hour were my favorite episodes, but this one has easily beat both of those.
Blink is one of my all-time favorites. But this was amazing. Like I was really worried that it would be bad because I didn't really enjoy the last series. Like I thought it kind of didn't have the same feel to it. But then this, just the way it was written and the way it was acted, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last Doctor Who I saw was last year's Christmas special.
I tried to go back and I tried to get into Doctor Who, and I watched I think I got to not the season that's airing now, or the most recent one, but I got to the one before that one, and I stopped. And it's just I put in all that time and effort to try and like it, and I just don't. It's just
I mean, I completely commend you on that. I will give people slack that have tried to get into some of the niches that I like. If they give it an honest try and they don't like it, I'm not going to force it down their throats. But if
someone's like, "Oh my god, no, I hate it," have you seen it? No.
Or if they've seen one of the worst episodes.
Yeah. It's like, well, of course you hate it. That was a really bad episode. It doesn't. Oh.
Hey, Emily, you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, you were getting quiet there for a second. I don't know what that was.
Oh, well, it's nothing my end, so nothing obvious.
It may just be a Skype thing, because Skype is stupid. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, we were using Skype on my roommate's Xbox One to talk to his parents or whatever, because he's from DC area and I'm from Ohio, so but we were concerned because I have posters up on my wall that have faces on them, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's gonna recognize their faces and it's gonna zoom out and it's gonna be really stupid. But it's smart enough. It doesn't do it by it doesn't do how a camera does it and by coloration. It does it by depth, and I didn't think of that because I'm dumb. And so it completely ignored my posters, and it would ignore me if I'm facing away from it. But whenever I'd turn around to say something, it would zoom out, so it would show me too, and then the second I turn back around, it would zoom back in on just him. And that feature works really well, and it's really cool.
That's pretty amazing.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So what's with the thing that the Kinect watches you all the time? Is that true? Because that kind of put me off wanting to get one.
I mean, technically, if you want to consider, technically, no, it doesn't watch you all the time. It listens.
Not much less creepy though.
I mean,
but
it's not that much.
It doesn't. It's not it records any of it. It's only it's all it's doing is listening for the word Xbox, so it can listen to its next command, and that's all. It's not it's saving fucking data banks of what your conversations are in your living room or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's not really that much different than cell phones nowadays, where each cell phone has a camera and a microphone on it, and those are always running. If you honestly think about it, it's always running. And
yeah, I mean, it's nothing worse than if you have a cell phone. Your cell phone, it's there's GPS in your cell phone that you can't turn off. It's like, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the way that the Xbox guys marketed it and brought that up. it kind of threw everybody off.
Well, it was also kind of, it was like, oh, and it's always on, so you can turn it on with your voice. But it was also, like, right after that scandal with the NRA, like, grading our emails, and everyone's, like, freaking out about shit, and it's like, if people want to read my emails, they're allowed. It's like, there's nothing interesting inside my emails.
I mean, I do agree with that, but I mean, honestly, I don't like talking politics, but I mean, in today's day and age where everyone has a full computer in their pocket, it does get to the point where some things should be off limits, like listening and looking in on all this kind of stuff. I mean, 1984 was a ridiculous fiction book, but it does have some similarities to today.
I think I've like heard of that. I'm pretty sure
It's
we've
a
done
book.
it in English.
It's really boring, like extremely boring.
It's a political
Yeah,
fiction book.
it's like essentially, yeah, it's like it was supposed to be, if the government kept on the track that they were doing in 1984, we were going to be like living in like this sub-futuristic society where every action of your day is controlled by the government and stuff like that.
And everyone's being watched.
Yeah, essentially. But it's like, meh, I don't care. It's like, until they like legitimately like start controlling my actions, as long as I can do whatever I want, like they can watch me. It's like, meh. I'm not a terrorist. I didn't do it. I'm not doing anything illegal. They can read my shit. But anyway, speaking of emails, I got my email this week. I got into the beta for Infinite Crisis.
Ooh.
For those of you who don't know what that is, that is the DC MOBA, like the DC Comics MOBA, where it takes like all the different kinds of Batmans and all the different kinds of like Jokers, and it puts them all into one game, and it turns it into like League of Legends for DC comic nerds.
Batman is my thing.
Please let me know how that goes. I really
I
want
can
to
get
know.
you a beta code if you want it.
Huh?
I can get you a beta code if you want it.
Oh, please do. Oh my god. I really want to get into that, because anything DC and a couple stuff Marvel, I'm completely into.
Yeah, I can hook you up. I got you. I'll get it done after the podcast is over.
Yep.
It's pretty good. I don't like the fact that they're not doing a standard like MOBA map with the 3 lanes. Like it's like Dominion. If anyone's played League of Legends, it's like this circular map, and it's all weird and fucked up.
Oh.
But it's very much in like very into into beta. Like there's a new, like at the bottom there's a friends tab, and that's where you add friends to your friends list and whatever. And right now, if I try and add someone, the only way they can accept it is if they try and add me back. Like there's a notification thing next to it, and if you bring that up, it looks like a notifications tab, but nothing will ever show up on it. And right next to that is a news tab, and if you click on that, it's like coming soon, and like it's like there's nothing there, and then you can click on your profile, and it's like the home of your profile is just your profile picture next with your level next to it, and the rest of the page is empty. And then you can click on your heroes, which is a thing that you can look at, and it's like all the heroes that you've bought that are / they're unlocked or whatever. But then there's 2 other tabs that are like amplifiers and something else that are like you can't use yet. And like there's so much stuff that's like not work. There's a new map out that's like a completely like new style of MOBA map, but no one wants to play it because no one knows how to play on it.
I mean, it's
like if you want us to play on it, you have to queue up for like 45 minutes in order to find a game.
Oh yeah.
But if you queue up for like the main map, it takes like a minute.
It kind of sounds like it should be labeled as an alpha, since it doesn't have a whole lot of game types and
the beta. So technically, if you go by game developer terms, not like media terms, it's in alpha.
Yeah.
Because by game developers, alpha is to when you open it up to the public. So a closed beta still is technically in alpha.
Yeah, yep.
So it's just a process of, like, getting through all of that. I was lucky enough to get a code, and I know where to get codes as of right now, but it's a little dicey. Every once in a while, the servers lag super hardcore for everyone in the match, but for a game that's in closed beta, that's expected. But the gameplay-wise, all the mechanics seem to work well. There's not, like, buggy mechanics.
That's pretty good.
Except for right now, Atomic Wonder Woman is the most overpowered piece of shit on the planet. Like legitimately, if she gets one kill, she'll just walk up and, like, one-hit anyone on the map, and it's like, this is so dumb.
I mean, in the DC universe, I'm probably gonna go with the Flash or the Green Lantern. Those are my two top favorites.
Green Lantern is my favorite superhero, so...
How about you, Joe?
Or Thor, one of the two, because Thor's pretty badass as well. Anyone seen the Thor movie yet? Anyone?
I have not seen the new Thor, but
you're fine.
I've seen the.
Is it good?
It's so good.
Oh, I need to go watch it now.
There's a lot of Thor fan service, of which I am grateful, but no, it is really good.
Ooh.
Like a really big twist right at the end, and like I was sat with my friend, and we both looked at each other like, no, right at the very end. It's so good.
Oh, I'm excited. I went to go see Catching Fire last night.
I need to do
Don't
that.
ruin it.
I need to do that.
The end.
Don't do it. Don't ruin it.
No, I'm not gonna ruin it.
Spoil it.
I read the first book, and I hated it with a passion. Like, I read lots of books because I'm a nerd. Not lots of books, but I read like books that I read like over and over and over again. Like I've probably read the Lord of the Rings series like 6 or 7 times, and that's including The Hobbit as well. So it's just like, and it's written for such a young age group that like, I think it's written for too young of an age group for what the context are. So like, it's very, very boring to read. So I didn't read the second 2. So I have no idea what the next 3, well, this movie and the next 2 movies are going to be about. Because apparently they're splitting Mockingjay into 2 movies.
Oh, I didn't.
Neither did I, till I looked on IMDb because I was looking for the cast, someone from the cast.
Yeah.
And in their listings was like Mockingjay Part 1 and Mockingjay Part 2. So, guess there's 2. But the movie visually was amazing. Like the CGI effects of like all the landscape of the arena and the cities and everything was great.
The first one was good for that, so it can only get better.
Yeah, this one's great. It kept in all, from what I've heard, it's kept in all the good things from the book and excluded the things that you didn't need. So it's a full movie that it's 2.5 hours just long. So it's a good length movie.
I've read all of them, and I agree with you that they're not good books. Like, if you're into reading, like I am.
Yeah, like
the literature,
the story of the first book I read, the story of it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's why
just
I kept
reading it was a boring, like uneventful. So it's like I couldn't make myself read the next 2.
I only finished the trilogy for the story. The writing is horrible.
And this
books,
yeah, but like. Someone ruined the end of the movie for me like a few months ago because I said that I read the first one, so they assumed that I had read the second one.
Yeah.
And it ruined the ending. So I knew what was gonna happen, but the way it happened in the movie is from what I've heard exactly the same as the book, but it's like I wasn't expecting it. And as a person, when I watch movies, I find it hard to watch movies because one, when I see visual effects, I'll be like, oh, I know how to do that. This is how they did that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how they did anything in this movie. I was just like, nah, I don't know. And I often find myself sitting there like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And then it happens, and I was like, oh. And so, like, I'm not spoiled by it or anything. But, like, I had no idea what was going to happen. And when it does happen, it's like...
I actually think someone's already spoiled it for me, because when the first one came out, I was talking to my friend about it back at school, and they said they'd read the second one, and they said something, but I don't know if it's happened or not. So, Emily, I'll ask you a chat quick.
You should message me, and I'll tell you if that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not read the books. I am kind of looking forward to watching the movie as well, so don't spoil it for me.
Well, yeah, because my family, as a tradition on Thanksgiving, we always go see a movie, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be our movie of choice. And so, like, me and my parents rewatched the first Hunger Games. They did get they got pretty much a whole new directing staff, which I like. Because in the first movie, they do that shaky camera crap that they do in action movies now, that they shake the camera all over the place, so you don't have to focus that much on what's going on. That it's like, they're fighting, shake the camera, ah! And it's like they didn't do that in this one, and it's like, because it's like you see a fight and you're looking at the fight, you're not looking at their elbows while the camera's shaking around the world, and it's just like...
I've always hated the shaky camera. I've hated it in every movie that I've ever seen.
The shaky camera was good, so it's like the fact that they cut it out was just like so good.
Yeah. Hey, Emily, do you have any other nerddoms besides Thor and the Hunger Games and anything else that's nerdy?
So you made me pick specific examples. Book-wise, I'm really into John Green as an author, if any of you've heard of him.
What does he write?
I have. I read, oh god, which one was it? I've only read one of his books.
Oh, I own all of them, so I will know which one you mean.
It was the main character was obsessed with last words of people.
Yes, that's Paper Towns.
Paper Towns, yeah, I read that one. I was trying to think of something that wouldn't spoil the book for anyone who wanted to read it.
Yeah.
I've just ruined the end of the third movie for Peyton. I'm sorry.
So besides, I know that I don't know any other John Green books, but which one is your favorite for our audience?
My favourite one is Paper Towns, personally, it's the same one, but his most recent one, it's called The Fault in Our Stars, and it was at the top of the best-selling list for like 8 weeks after it was published, and then it got back to the top again a little while later. So it did really well, and it's an amazing piece of literature. I highly suggest you go and read it. It's called The Fault in Our Stars. A brief synopsis. It's about teenage cancer sufferers and how they interact with each other and how they get through their lives and stuff like that. And so it's pretty bad, but it's really good.
I will put a link to that book down in the link dump for anyone who would like to go read that. Do you have any other nerddoms, Emily?
I'm big into Harry Potter as well.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo.
I have a Deathly Hallow symbol on my keychain that one of my friends made me in my art class.
So cool.
I'm going to make one of them at college now.
Yeah, we were sitting in sitting in my 3D like fundamentals art class, and she had like copper wire for some reason, and so she just like sat there and like took the thicker gauged wire and made like the basic shape, and then took smaller gauge wire and like made it hold together with it, and I was like, yes.
I have Hermione's time turner.
Yeah, do you have that?
I have a replica of that, yeah.
Oh,
that's awesome.
So cool.
I'm jealous.
So you said, Joe, that you like Batman. What's your favorite story on Batman?
Well, I like the trilogy, the one that's the new trilogy, the
Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it is just brilliant. I have a few of the old comics as well, so they're good. And it's on TV every now and then, like the really old Batman.
Oh, like the Adam West Batman?
Yeah.
Really old
It's
Batman.
so funny.
It's amazing. So I watch that.
Like, I cannot, mine is Lord of the Rings. It is my it It is my secret love. Like, I love Lord of the Rings. It's not even a secret. I just love Lord of the Rings too much.
I love the film, but I never got into the books, the Lord of the Rings books. But the film,
The books are a hard read.
exactly. Never got into.
And it's just like, because there's parts that are in, like, there's words that are in Elvish words that they're not just like, this Elvish word means this. They just say it, and you're supposed to be like, I know what that means.
Yeah, I did not read the main 3 books. I saw the movies, but then I got really into it. And I went back and read The Hobbit, and now I'm really, really excited for the Desolation of Smaug to come out.
I don't like the way that they pronounce smog.
So they say Smaug, don't they?
Yeah,
Horrible.
which is the Elvish pronunciation of smog, but in Common Tongue, which is technically English in the Lord of the Rings, in Common Tongue it's just smog. So I don't know why, like, all the dwarves say smog and everything. It's like,
Yeah, I heard somewhere that the actors had to be coached by the diction.
yeah,
coach.
they have a diction director that will just come on set and just yell smog for like the next hour and a half.
Yep.
It's like, but it's just smog. It's like they're dwarves. They speak the common tongue. It's just smog.
Yeah.
I always read it, like, because I always read it Smaug as, like, in the post and stuff, and then, like, you see the trailers and they start saying Smaug, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's not...
I've also noticed, like, the advancement of the because when the first trailer came out, it's like the dragon looked kind of shammy and sounded kind of lame.
Yeah.
And then, like, the newest trailer came out, and the dragon looks awesome, and the voice sounds so much cooler, and it's got more effects done to it, and it's like...
Yeah, I actually played the original Xbox game for The Hobbit. It was a good old hack and slash, and I remember that being one of my favorite original Xbox games.
I had a Return of the King Game Boy Advanced game.
Wow.
And it was single-handedly the second hardest game I've ever played next to Dark Souls, which I'm still in the tutorial area for. Like, no, I'm past, like, the tutorial area, but, like, I'm stuck. Like, I've given up on that game. Me and one of my friends are like, let's buy it. We'll play through it together. And he's on, like, the 5th or 6th boss, and I'm, like, not even past the first one yet. It's like... It's so hard, because now I'm stuck in a point where every time I try and go fight this boss to get my old souls back, but at no point can I ever, like... I get my souls back, so I'm stronger because I have those souls and the ones that I'm currently holding. And then I die to the boss. I fight to get there, get more souls, and then pick up the ones that I had the last time I died. And then die again. And it's just like a constant, like, I probably put like 24 hours into that game at least, just going to this boss, dying, and picking up my old souls and repeating it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that has to be one of the most ragey games I've ever played.
It's so fucking hard. And he bought the guide that was like, this is how you do it. And in the front cover, it says, be prepared to die a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, that makes me feel so good about myself.
Yeah, they came out with like a newer version on Steam or something, and it was just the Prepared to Die edition.
Yeah, and it's like, get fucked, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, but the Lord of the Rings games always held up pretty well. I've liked every Lord of the Rings game that I've played.
The only one that I felt did somewhat justice was the War in the North game. And that's because I don't like any of the games that follow the main characters.
Ah, okay.
Just because I feel like it's going to be a game adaptation, so what they do is not going to be exactly the same as they do in the books and the movies, and it's just like...
What about The Third Age? Did you play that one? It was a RPG.
Yes, I did. I had that for the PlayStation 2, I think.
So
that was pretty good. Yeah.
It was decent. It didn't follow the main storyline, but I got into it. I'd never gotten into an RPG game before that, and I'd played the Two Towers and Return of the King on Xbox, and then I saw gameplay on that one, and I finally got enough money to grab it, played it, and loved it. So
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit early tonight because I have to journey back to my campus tonight and edit this tonight. So I think we can wrap this up within the next few minutes here.
Okay.
So if anyone wants to say any, last few things.
not that I can think of.
I don't have any.
Emily?
Yeah,
Anything?
just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say, but I don't think everything was covered.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
That does it for this episode, and we will see you next week. We may or may not have a guest speaker, and it may or may not be rescheduled time, so I don't know who all will be able to be there.
Earlier or later?
Probably earlier, because the person I have an idea of who we're going to interview lives in Scotland, and unlike you two, she doesn't like staying up past 9 because she's.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I'll see what goes on. If not, worst comes to worst, I'll just fit it in midweek, and I'll do a midday interview, and it'll just be me and her, and
Okay.
I'll post that as addition to our podcast. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'll figure that out as the week goes on. So yeah, I think that does it for this week, and we will see you next time.
all right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys.
Bye.